stacking stress can physically be recognized as a remaining sensation in the body. This can come from other sources as well. When we notice the cycles in the world, every drop of water the body takes in can also be given. When you hear the fact figure of the skin shedding itself every 7 years, skin being the largest organ in the body, this means that although we are ourself and remain ourself, it's replenished. So what this means is that there are layers, just as there are layers of rock, of earth. It also is so within the body. So when there are deposits, when there is buildup, calcification, growth of cancers, something then, in order to reverse this, or otherwise negate this, push it out and through the body, something then of that nature is to follow. So facing past and present illness, the prevention of the future then asks us to apply what we know now towards something further. So to address an existing dis-ease, some type of way in which the body is unable to overcome something internally, something external may need to be applied. This can be found in ways that combine both what we refer to as naturally derived medicines and synthetic. So the best of both worlds can work in tandem with each other. Else we create a complete rejection or even acceptance of one. It may be both. In many cases, perhaps in unfortunate ones, where one did not have access to something, it may be seen as we review the entire history of cases that there were cases that asked for both. For we live in a created world. We live in a world where there is construct. And there continues to be such construction. And with the way, or rather the ways in which we do it, you can feel dawning that there can be a necessity for this. The rapidity of how human existence behaves in this accelerated exponential way gives and receives a response. So if unnatural, as it is so dubbed, if an unnatural motion is made, this may create an unnatural reaction and ask for an unnatural response. To put it simply, if the water is taken and converted into a form that involves high doses of something chemical, whatever we are doing to such water, and whatever it does once we consume it, so it follows that something of equivalence would cancel it out. If you put a plant by a windowsill where it receives the most sun, and you water it as you do other plants, and then you find that this plant starts to show signs that something is amiss, it is telling you this. And you can see this with people as well. So these are signs that ask something of us. This is what the healing arts, then, is for. In a time of sickness, and seeing such sickness and knowing it, we can ask, does this not call attention? Does this not ask of us to address it? There is evident within the field of science how the immune response, immune system, how it responds to bacterium, pathogens, and what we've called invaders of the body, when something gets in and the body then sends, I believe it's white blood cells. Don't copy this verbatim into your notebooks, but the body carries out these internal battles, it's to work its way through. And, temperature can fluctuate. You can experience a wide range of symptoms while you're fighting off a cold or, fever, something that is happening to you. So this tells us that exposure can be of benefit. Though I am saying this now in a time that is seeing an exposure, something that is affecting us on a global scale. COVID-19, which from the abbreviation I've seen SARS, it's COVID-19-SARS-2 or COVID-SARS-2, being a variant of a previous epidemic. Has place in the past. So There's learning to be done from this, from all of this. And it can grow complicated to look over it all. I'm recording this to go over this and to reach out there because I feel it helps to allow for open thinking. And this is a point in time where many are searching for answers. They're wondering what there is to do about this. What is to be done about this? Where to place our trust? In this unfolding, swarming, multifaceted reality. It's quite astonishing how much is happening at once. We can wake up to a day, or a simple glance at waves of new information, and cultivate it and consume it and take it in. And then there is our processing. What we do with this, and where we carry it. It can be carried out forcefully. Opinions can and will try to be swayed. To make time for review. Before carrying out motion. And acting before thought may put us in a place, a labyrinth of sorts, that may be difficult to find our way back out of. This is something I feel. Nothing, or everything, or some of all of what I just said asks to be accepted as truth. When we say, when we speak, opinions come up. Truths are found and formed over time. They go through a series of tests. The sun also rises. We breathe, and there is oxygen, there is carbon dioxide. We breathe out. Life continues like this. This is a chance to know what that is. The entirety of time is what we are experiencing, what we have made while here. There can be architecture both profane and divine. There is much we have taken on. I realize that phrase cancels itself out. What I was trying to convey is that when you encounter anyone saying anything, a moment of acceptance can continue because you find favor, because you find someone agreeable. So you may sit and nod, yes, I accept that, I accept that. This can go on without pause. We are allowed to reverse this, to keep this to ourselves, to exchange in dialogue may not always come about in a string of constant acceptance. There is room for disagreement, too. If the foundation within ourselves is metaphorically matchstick, it may splinter and shake a person up. Offense can be taken. Or one can overly glow. Yes, as you hear a reaffirmation of someone else reaching out and touching upon your beliefs. This can occur in ways both healthy and unhealthy. So pay attention. Because in life, we play with both. Existing in what Shakespeare dubbed the stage of this world. There are performances. If someone reaches out their hand, would you take it? And would you come onto the stage? Many times, you will be asked, or can ask yourself this question. It can stay in the head. Oh, I see that person I like. Will I talk to them? What would I say? So the internal dialogue can go typing up page after page of run-on sentence. Now, that crossover point, where you let the motion form, and where you do allow yourself to speak, is when you transition from a place only inside and you take it out. Do you allow it to dive into the sea of life that you are experiencing? This is what makes life exciting. There are breathtaking opportunities. And you see that the walls of that labyrinth that you may be in, rather than all come tumbling down, they arrange themselves, rearrange to straightforward paths. So all along, it may have been your own, it may have been an others, it may have been both involved in what may be your tangle. So that says that allowed bliss approaches us. And that's a simple way of seeing it. This doesn't say that to see it in a way that is complex is less than the other's way. This says that there are paths ahead of us. It may be right in front of us. This recording is getting rather long. So I will carry forward all that this conversation has said by allowing you to speak. Yes, that dialogue can be internal too. You may be thinking it. Why am I returning to doing this at the end of the day? How can I call it communication when someone isn't there in the present? Though, with this world being connected as it is, I ask, are you sure that it is not? Oh, nice weather that you're having there. Unless it isn't. In which case, know that storms have a place in the world as well. Some are perfect. If that is the case, I hope that this improves. Leaves change color then fall. Skies open then shut across the space of a day in a wide range of palette. And in some places, rain turns to snow. So act in the midst of this. Observe this. Notice what you're doing in response. And know that you can teach others. So they are not caught rudely by surprise. I feel that about sums it up. And I too feel that we've got some thinking to do. In closing, continue to experience. Keep up that flexibility. This seems to be a key to health. Also, sitting for a long period of time. It can take its toll on you. Have a good one.